Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Interlocking Loops Flosstube video. It's February 21st, 2021. I'm your host Angela and this is a video about cross stitch and my crafting. Welcome one and all. It's been a couple weeks since we talked. Valentine's Day is coming past. You'll see that I have finished a little bit of stuff for Valentine's, got stymied on a project for Valentine's, need a little bit of advice and other stuff I've got done. So all right, let's get on with the show. So last time I was working on this pattern by Heart and Hand. We won Valentine Bird. In pinks. Pretty cute. I was probably 3/4 of the way done with it at the time we last met. And now it's fully finished, and it was finished at least a week ago. I changed some things a little bit from the pattern. Some of the colors, some of the motifs are slightly different. This is actually has been stitched on 16 count ivory Aida, and I'm really pleased with it. So that's one that's finished. I'll be able to get that fully finished for next year's display. I have a slightly different setup here again today. We'll see if Pumpkin the cat's going to help me. We'll stay tuned. He may make an appearance. He likes the chair I'm sitting on. He likes to head to the back of it and consider jumping clear up. So I don't want him to do that. So we'll see. All right. The Country Cottage Needleworks Glitter Village. I have the first one finished, and I'll be able to start the second one here this week. I'm trying to devote 1 week a month for at least a little while, trying to get some of these done. Here's the actual pattern, and they're adorable. I hope to get 5 done this year out of the 9 that will be stitched as one solid piece. This is on a piece of Be Stitch Me fabric, and it looks kind of subtle. It's opalescent, so to me it kind of looks almost as if you're looking through snowflakes at it. It's one floss over one, so I will have to look up and see how many spaces I need to add in before I do the next one. I plan on doing number 2 and going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9 at the bottom. So stay tuned for next episode. I should have that at least started, if not finished. So it's going to be so cute. While currently I'm over the feeling of winter, we're currently under another winter weather advisory for freezing rain and snow. It has been cold. We haven't had near the trouble with the weather that some of the states south of us have had. Our furnace was on the fritz. It's now been working, knock on wood beside me, but it stays that way. So I've had some time to stitch, not as much as I'd hoped, because at this time of the year, chores, I live on a farm, and what we need to do for chores take about 3 times longer than it does part of the year, so that's been taking up quite a bit of my time. When we last talked, I had ordered this pattern, another Heart and Hand, Bird in the Hand for Valentine's Day. Those cute little fat birds, if you remember. Love me some good fluffy little birds. And I have it fully finished. Well, all the stitching's done. I don't know if you can tell the color any better if I put something behind it. I've got a window off to the side of me. So, okay, the issue I have with this one, if you look closely at the bottom, it's not completely perfect. Do I fill it all in? So in the pattern, it has these little ridges that are not stitched. Somehow I made a mistake. Clear over one area, and I found out by the time I got to the other area. You see I still have a needle in there because I haven't decided what to do. If I'm going to rip out a whole bunch of it, which is not very likely for me to do. I'm not really wanting to do that. So am I going to leave it? I could leave it. I don't think most people would notice it. However, I think I would notice that. So my last thought is to actually fill and make that a solid line. I've just been stymied kind of on this project. I really think it's cute. So we'll see. And that's on Coffee Tea Dyed Ada. I think it's 16 counts, two flosses. I hand dyed it. I don't have a label on exactly what it is, but as far as, I think it's a 16 count. So that's almost done. Oh, let's see. If you remember, I talked about some of the things on my 10 things I want to get worked on this year. One of them was in this book. I don't know how well you can see that. I'll show you the actual picture. I wanted to make this for more than a year. Try to keep the glare off of it. So isn't that adorable? And March is right around the corner. Next time we get together, it will be March. So I have it started. It's on 16 count white Ada. So the book is not in English, but I took the book into Hobby Lobby with me, and you could see the colors, and I tried to match up DMC colors to kind of go with it. And it's hard to tell. I started working on the bunny, so we've got part of the bunny's torso, then we got down to some of the 3-leaf clovers, and I'm working my way up to get the arm of the rabbit and the head and the ear. So hopefully I have quite a bit more of this done next time we talk. I love the colors. There's nothing like a fresh, pretty green, since it's been a while since we've seen some green around here. And it's coming along. So 2 flosses over 1. All of it will be in DMC. So that's one of the things I've been working on as well. Let's talk a little bit about acquisitions. So I have a couple freebies that I was able to find. Hello from Liz Matthews. If you sign up for her newsletter, you had access to her cross-stitch design always. So I encourage you, if you like this pattern, sign up for Liz Matthews' newsletter, and you can have access to it as well. I thought it'd be nice to be done in pink as well, but I kind of like the blue touch. And then Hands-On Design. Kathy has a new one on her blog. Most of you have already seen it. You probably already stitched it. The I Love You. I haven't stitched it, but boy, I bought some fabric, which you will see here shortly, to stitch it on eventually. So, and the last freebie is from Whilst Iris Knapp's Designs, her spring freebies for 2021. And I did print out the first part of this. So if you look on her site, you'll be able to find it and print it out as well. I love the carrots. Look at these little bunnies. Adorable. Pumpkin, leave the plant alone. Okay, let's talk about a little bit of other acquisitions. Okay, so I went a little bit crazy when they had more pretty colored fabric in. And one of these will be what I will do, the one by Hands-On Design with that kind of a pinky background. One of these I'll be using one of these fabrics. Okay, so I almost hesitate to show you for fear that it's going to get purchased and it will all disappear. This is 16 count Riviera Coral Ada, and it does look like a true kind of coral. I'm having a little bit of competition with the cat. He and I can't decide which one of us should leave the plant alone and which one of us can sit by it nicely. So there's that. So I've always liked a nice coral. Here's 28 count Diva Laguna fabric. It's a mottled fuchsia pink. .30 count cherry vanilla linen. This is really pretty too. I don't know. That may be a little bit closer. And then I've got a 20 count red pear linen. Oh, and this, I just love this. So I have the red pear and the cherry vanilla, the Diva Laguna, whew, pretty, and the Riviera coral. Aren't those pretty? I'm not going to tell you which one is my favorite, but it may be the one I stitch on next. You just never know. Yes, okay. I did go ahead and purchase a couple other Blackbird Designs books. Now, The Gift is Small by Blackbird Designs. 1, 2, 3 Stitch is where I made these purchases. I don't know how well some of the pictures will come across. There's a pretty sampler. I also purchased Sayre's House by Blackbird Designs. Here's what the outside of it looks like. And I'm thinking a little bit of spring as I'm looking at this one with the basket of flowers, kind of viney flowers. The meteorologists say spring starts March 1st. I realize that is not what the calendar says, but I'm holding to that. Another one, Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day, also by Blackbird Designs. I've seen a couple of these stitched. Try to find a, okay, this one in particular, aren't these flowers pretty? More thinking of spring type stuff. And the last one, Sewing Club by Blackbird Designs. Here's what it looks like on the outside. I know a lot of you have seen these, a lot of you probably own these. It's hard to see. I don't want to show the pattern. This drum with the bird on it is really pretty. Then Tiny Treetops, Rose or Thyme. This sampler is really pretty. Try to keep the glare off of it. But there's a lot to pick from out of this book. So, gosh, let's see if I can find one more. Here's another bird one. Which could, frankly, that bird could be done in any color. Rose Hips and Ivy is that one. And a sweet little house. It's made into a scissor box. It's really pretty. Some of the times when I'm trying to decide which one of the Blackbird designs, or any design book for that matter, I don't necessarily know enough to see enough of the pictures on them, or the image that you get on the computer, you can't get it big enough to really tell what you're looking at. So I appreciate sometimes to be able to see a few of the pictures. It's hard not to give anything away on there, so I have to be real careful. All right. What else? I purchased Eliza Barney 1892. Can you see why? That one right there, that cow right there. And last, as far as cross stitch goes, the GDR pattern, Martha S. Scott, 1876. That's a cute sampler. Check out those trees and that cute little house. Ah! Huh. Okay, maybe let's take a second look. All right. So as far as other crafty pursuits, I've been working on a blanket. I didn't bring it over here with me today, but it's fingering weight scraps. I knit a lot of socks, and I use some of the scraps for that. I've also been making dishcloths. I may have shown one or two of these before, but I did finish another one up. Susan B. Anderson on Ravelry has the Sweetheart Washcloth pattern, and this is what it's from. It actually has a crocheted edging on it as well that I didn't do. And I've made a couple of these now, heart shape. Seems like every February I kind of get the urge to make more dishcloths. And because I have some of my acquisitions from Hobby Lobby's been more their Crafter's Secret cotton. This is called Valentine's. It's reds and pinks and whites. And this one is called Candy Pink. So I have been doing some spinning. I have half of the braid from Nest Fiber Studio finished. And I'm spinning this on my Ashford Traveler. Short forward draw. It'll be a 2-ply is my plan when it's done. And the last thing I've been working on, yes, is a pair of socks. This is from Opal, one of the Claude Monet colorways. See if I can ascertain the exact colorway. And no, I cannot. Have one done. I typically do what is called a vanilla sock. It's a basic pattern. Start at the top, at the leg, do the ribbing, the straight leg, heel flap and gusset. Gusset decreases out the foot and then decrease for the toe. I have 1.5 socks done. On this one, I need to do the heel flap, what is done over here, and then I can progress with the rest of the sock. This is the project that when I'm in between things, I take it to work at lunchtime. When the weather warms up, when I'm a little bit early for work, I'll be able to work on it a few minutes before I actually start the work day. And that's kind of my go-to project. And if you remember before when we talked about some roving and some of the colors I like, can you tell there's blues and greens there? Yes, blues and greens. So I knit these on DPNs. I'm doing a total of 60 stitches around. It's a 1x1 knit 1 purl 1 ribbing at the top on I believe they're 2.5 millimeter needles. Yes. And they're coming along very well. So I should have those done next time. And that's about it for this episode. I know it's been a shorty. Things are very busy here. Let's see, since we last talked, I don't remember if we had all the baby goats born at that time or not, but they have been since then. This year they were all girls. Last year they were all boys. You know, each one's a 50-50. You just never know what you're going to end up with. But the girls are doing well. They're adorable. What else? So we need to be starting the next lambs. We hit 145 days, which is like the first general day that the lambs could show up. was on Friday. I calculated it once. I thought it was Tuesday, but I thought, boy, that seemed really early. I calculated it again with something on an app on my phone kind of thing, and it said Friday. So that was better because last week, as most of the country was super cold, us in the Midwest were very, very cold. Some days not getting above 0 at all. And that's not good weather for babies to be born. But nonetheless, this next week's better. And we haven't had any lambs born. But I've got 10 mamas to have babies over the next 2 to 2.5 weeks. So with any luck, since this next week will be warmer, they'll all get inspired and have their lambs, and everything will be great. So, you know, when this time of the year is coming up, nobody gets enough sleep. My husband takes the first shift. He stays up late, watches the barn cams. We don't want any of the babies to get too cold. And then I'm up in the middle of the night. And so we'll see how much stitching we get done, because there's a lot of being tired that will be going on as well. Anyway, until next time, be safe. Hopefully spring is coming your direction. And happy crafting. Bye-bye.